Hi, this is Nate Short, and welcome to my September 2014 short report, where we're going to go over what's happening in the local real estate market. So let's get right to it. This is the heat map that I show at the beginning of every month, and as you can see, it remains, for the most part, pretty much red. We've got Area 520, which is West Bellevue, at 3.3 months supply, and Monroe and Enumclaw also are more in a balanced market. For the most part, we still have pretty low supply across the Puget Sound area. The inventory in Seattle, well, it's at 1.2 months supply, and last year we were at 1.4 months supply, so that's actually gotten a little bit tighter. It's gone down a bit. Probably a lot of that is due to the growth with Amazon and all the hiring that's going on down there. Month-to-date sales, well, they're down 12%. Year-to-date sales are down about 2%. In Seattle, so market continues to be tight from last year. The median closed sale price, well, it's up 8% from last year, and condos are up 6%. If we switch over to the east side, well, a little bit different story there. The inventory has actually gone up a little bit. It's at 2.1 months supply versus last year, well, it was at 1.8 months supply. So about a 15% differential there. Month-to-date sales, well, they're down 9%. Year-to-date sales are down 6% on the east side. But again, the median closed sales price is positive. It's actually up 11% from last year, and condos are up 5%. So if we look at interest rates, well, they're still very low, 4.25% on a 30-year mortgage, and our affordability payment is now at $2,301 versus a 14-year average of $2,349. So still a very affordable time to buy. If you're a first-time home buyer, you're just getting into the market. It's still a great time to buy, even though prices have risen quite a bit. This month's topic, well, I thought I'd bring up property taxes, since a lot of you have probably gotten the assessor's note in the mail showing that your valuations have gone up, and that's, of course, largely due to all these price increases. But are you paying too much? Are you a little uncomfortable with what how much your taxes are going up? And what do you want to do if anything, as far as appealing the valuation? Well, here's what I thought I'd put together. First step is to call or email the Department of Assessments. You can call them at 206-296-7300 or email them at assessor.info@kingcounty.gov and just go over with them your particular situation. They'll look at your assessment, make sure there's not any errors that have been made as far as from their perspective, and then you can go from there. So that's the first step. The second step is you can file an appeal, but you cannot file the appeal before you actually receive your annual revaluation of your property. So, and usually I usually get mine around the 1st of July or so, and that gives you, from that point when it gets mailed, well, you have about 60 days to make that appeal. This is what that valuation property notice looks like. Of course, many of you are probably very familiar with that, and so you just want to look for that in the mail. So again, what you'll want to do on these revaluations is they're going to arrive sometime between the beginning of May and October. Once you get them, you're going to have about 60 days to make that appeal. Okay, so just remember that. So how do you actually appeal? Well, there's two ways. You can do an e-appeal, or you can appeal just by downloading a PDF off of the assessor's website. So if you want to do an e-appeal, you would go to this website. It's blue.kingcounty.gov/assessor/e-appeals/index.aspx, and that will get you to their forms where you can do an online appeal. Or you can just download this particular form, fill it out, and of course, when you need the comps, then just call me and I can get the comps for you for your particular home, at least the best ones that we would use, or try to make the case so that we could get your taxes lowered on that, and we do that quite a bit. We probably do at least 2 to 3 of those every year. Now that I'm making a highlight of it, maybe we'll do more, but it's certainly a great service that we can provide. But you do need to take the valuations from the previous year. So for example, I got my assessment in 2014. I can only take 2013 comparable sales, and so you can't take 2014. A lot of people think, wow, this house sold down the street in March, I'll just use that, and how can my house be valued at X, knowing that sale happened this year? You can't use that actual information, so I thought that would be helpful. Also, as I sell real estate, I come across a couple of situations always that do come up in regards to assessment. This particular house which I'm in the process of selling right now. Well, the assessor had the size at 4,740 square feet when the actual size was 4,152 square feet. So I'm in the process of talking to the owner about that and trying to figure out a way to appeal his taxes based on this new square footage. The second one is this house out in Falls City that I've been working on for the last while. It was assessed just a few years ago at $2.183 million. Now it's assessed at $1.655 million, but only after some sales started to happen out there, and they were able to show that there was a track record of quite a bit lower valuations for these luxury type homes in those areas. So, but we do see quite a discrepancy from area to area and price point to price point in real estate, just in general. So, something you certainly want to pay attention to and make sure you're getting a fair shake on that, because the government certainly doesn't want to take those valuations down unless they absolutely have to. So hopefully that is some good information for this month's short report. Please call me if you have any questions. And again, thank you for all your support.